Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Is it worth buying? Let's not waste your time here, I'll get straight to the point. You're either one of two people. You're a seasoned veteran, you've played more shooter games than you have fingers to count them, and at this point you're probably sick of all the badges and accolades and unlocks and cosmetics and whatnot. You just want a good shooter to play. Or you're fairly new to shooter games and you haven't actually got to the point where you're like, COD sucks. If you're that second person, yeah, go buy it. So let's bring my attention back to this person. Yeah, this is you. You've probably played enough Call of Duty games in your life already, yet once again you're hearing the same thing. Oh, this one's better. Oh, this one is actually different this time. Well, I'll throw it out there. It really isn't. Now, there is one thing that could draw you in, and that is the story mode. If you enjoyed the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare story, then yes, that is one exception, and I would absolutely suggest going to play it. We don't know what it's going to be like, but I have a strong feeling it's going to be a good story. Besides that though, if we're talking primarily the multiplayer, then it has modular improvements, some interesting new game modes, and like, ooh, you can do this thing with doors, or ooh, you can do this reloading thing whilst aiming down sights, and ooh, they have night mode now. Great, but what does that actually mean for the longevity of the game? Are you actually going to get your money's worth? Ultimately, that comes down to one simple question. Can you find your jam? No, not that jam. I mean, can you find a game mode you passionately enjoy? Can you get lost in a mode and have that moment of flow state in your mind where you're not sitting there thinking about what's going on in life or, oh, why am I even playing this game? Well, for me, that took a while. I played through all of the game modes the beta had to offer, and I just wasn't feeling it. The standard, more typical game modes just felt more like Call of Duty than I can even remember. I guess because I somehow believed that it really was different this time, so yeah, if you've watched this far, you're probably not going to be sold on just COD. But then I tried the new NVG playlist and, no, wait, that literally just felt like COD. At night. Yeah, but it's still COD, it's literally just COD. Oh, but then I tried the new Ground War game mode and, well, actually, I did have a few minutes of fun there and I actually saw light. I could see how people would absolutely fall in love with Ground War. It kind of had the same vibe as Battlefield Bad Company did for me. I don't know why. Okay, not quite with the same level of atmosphere, but the general scope felt that way. I eventually got a little sick of it, but I saw how many people could get immersed in that. Ground War could be your jam. If not, then maybe you'll find yourself in love with Gunfight, a faster paced 2v2 game mode that actually brought some true tension between you and your opponents. That for me was my jam. I enjoyed it. I stopped thinking about how I was going to somehow turn the hours of footage I just captured into a video. I stopped thinking about whether I enjoyed the game or not and stopped thinking about anything really. I just fell into the flow of gameplay and, oh, okay, yeah, kind of got interrupted every time there were 2 back-to-back kill cams and lengthy waits between the next match. Okay, it's not perfect, but for a moment, I was in pure bliss. I had escaped, and all that mattered was trying to outplay those 2 opponents that had somehow just tag-teamed my friend with nothing but Molotovs and their bare hands. So maybe Gunfight could be your jam, or maybe you won't like Ground War, or Gunfight, or any of the other modes. At that point, perhaps it's just time to pack your bags, leave a like on the way out and realise that COD Modern Warfare just isn't for you. If you're not sure if you will enjoy the game modes, I'd say go and look at gameplay for each of the modes available. I'll put a list in the description of all of the modes that will come with launch. You can kind of get a feel for whether you'd like something or not. Ultimately, there's always going to be 1 or 2 game modes that really draw you in and keep you coming back, so if there isn't a game mode here that does take your fancy, then yeah, you're probably not going to enjoy it. Now, let's say you do find your jam, like I did with Gunfight, there becomes a fork in the road. Now, a fork has paths designed for 2 people. Either you're the kind of person that's happy to dabble in public lobbies without a ranked system for dozens of hours, or you're super competitive. If you're the first person, then I'd ask, how much do you value your money? Because with a $60 price tag, you may only just be able to squeeze about 50 hours out of Modern Warfare before you get bored, or if you're lucky, about 100 hours. At that point, the price of Modern Warfare comes to about 50 cents to $1 per hour. Sure, there are more bang for your buck games out there, but it's not too bad. Once again, it's how you see your money. But if you are the super competitive type, then you may have trouble finding much value past 20 hours, I guess. Why? Well, without any real ranking system, you're either forced to play scrims and wager matches or go the real competitive route to find your value. Or I feel like you'd lose any real sense of value because at the end of the day, you've probably played enough shooters with progression systems where getting that next unlock just isn't as exciting is ranking up through an elo based ranking system. If that's you, then I have to ask you one thing. Do you want to play Call of Duty competitively, or are there other games that interest you instead? If you're watching this video wondering that question yourself, you've probably already racked up a multiple 100 or 1,000 hours in another game that you probably feel more at home with. So ultimately that's it. I hope that this has explained whether Call of Duty Modern Warfare is worth buying or not. It didn't really go into the minute details about what's new or what's changed, because ultimately it doesn't really matter. It's still Call of Duty. There are some things that have changed, and that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. You could easily find a lot of fun in this game if you can find a game mode that suits you. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. If you like this video, let me know. I don't usually dabble in anything other than Apex Legends at this point, but I'm really excited to kind of just do offbeat videos like this every now and again. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you there. Cheerio!